Lots of ACL injuries occur on turf. When it comes to facility design, has there been enough research done before deciding if the facility should pick turf over grass? This proposal explores the current state of research regarding anterior cruciate ligaments, or ACL injuries, and if there is a correlation to them occurring on turf rather than grass. When designing a sports facility, is this correlation of injury and surface type taken into account? There are requests to do more detailed research on this given how many Northern Hemisphere facilities are selecting turf due to the variation of weather and the durability of the turf over grass surfaces. Player safety needs to be of higher consideration over what is most cost effective for the facility owner, whether it is by instituting a certain shoe type that can only be worn on the turf or simply using the natural grass option. The research articles reviewed cover a variety of factors that range from injury types to athlete gender on different surfaces. The focus of this research question is on the risks associated with ACL injuries and the factors that contribute to them on the selected surface type. Articles that were referenced show that a variety of factors and injuries have been recorded and categorized, but there are many questions not answered in the available research. Some of the articles show differences between male and female athletes in soccer, showing that more female soccer players suffered ACL injuries on turf than males, but it still left open questions as to why. Other articles explore the injury ratio based on type of cleats and how certain designs increase torsional stiffness that may lead to more severe injuries on turf. An article also explores the perceptions of athletes regarding their safety on specific surface types. This is interesting because it does not extend into how this changes the way athletes play on a particular surface and whether it leads to increased injuries or not. The approach that I will take is both qualitative and quantitative. The qualitative method that will be used is quota sampling. The quota will follow 4,000 male athletes and track who suffered ACL injuries between the ages of 15 and 22, and 4,000 female athletes in the same age group and tracking the same injury type. The study will run for 2 years and the statistics will be gathered and published. The subjects also should be split, and 50% of each sample group should be on artificial turf and the other 50% on grass. The sample should capture the weather in which the incident occurred, the surface type, the athlete's physical attributes, the athlete's footwear, and whether it was a result of a non-contact or contact injury. The quantitative section will ask the questions of the sample groups that participated in the qualitative section. All athletes who are tracked will be asked a series of multiple choice questions to see if they are aware of some of the factors that can increase their chances of injury on a specific surface type and how they can possibly prevent them in the future. This will also act as a barometer for how the information is getting communicated to the athletes and if there is more confusion or clarity. The study will be distributed to various sports teams before the start of the season in year one and filled out at the end of the second year by the teams. Each team will consist on an average of 20 players per team with the allowance for a 10% variation, which will mean that about 200 teams for males and 200 teams for females will be required. The data will also be captured based on the team's physicians and injury reports from hospitals and schools. The data will be categorized and reported mid-study to verify that the samples are tracking that the data is actually being collected as envisioned. The study will look to answer the qualitative questions through the observation and plotting of injury type over each question, and then pose a series of quantitative questions to the subjects themselves to see how closely their answers correlate to the findings. It is my view that there is very little understanding of all the factors that can impact a player in terms of ACL injuries on specific field surfaces, and once the data is captured, it will spark further research into the relationship of these factors.